RNG games are a type of game which has exploded in popularity recently. Alongside the massive backlash they would receive for being as engaging as rolling a dice, as many people simply AFK overnight to get cosmetics, they usually don't serve any purpose BTW. A few months ago, a game called Roblox RNG would take the attention of many people as it exploded in popularity, despite the gameplay being equivalent to rolling a random number generator, but in a fancy way. Like many others, I expected it to be a simple fad that would go away in a couple weeks, but to everyone's surprise, the exact opposite has happened. Last time made a video on this game, the game had around 80,000 players. But Roblox RNG has even more players than it did 3 months ago. And since then a wave of new RNG games have flooded the front page. As of right now Roblox RNG sits at 80,000 players, reaching its peak of 150,000 players, and the number appears to be growing even bigger with each update. We can see that when the game first exploded, it reached a peak of about 100,000 players, then when it updates it reaches a new peak of 120,000 players. And then with the next update reaches a peak of 150,000. Of course it appears to be going down again, so this might be the start of Roblox RNG's death. Of course they are probably gonna update it again soon, so it will most likely go up again, and based on past trends, it will probably go even further than 150k players. I know predicting the future based on the past isn't really a reliable method, but hey, I'm just some Roblox YouTuber who's trying to make a video. Alongside Roblox RNG's rise, a bunch of other RNG games started to pop out of nowhere, with 8 of them having more than 1,000 concurrent players as of right now. What does this mean for the Roblox community? I know Roblox has a bunch of bad games, but I'm not joking when I say these RNG games are literally brain rot. At least with these generic copy and paste games they have some form of gameplay. Are they good? No. Are they of high quality? No. Are they fun? Maybe if you're under the age of 10. But most importantly, can you actually do something in it? Unlike Roblox RNG, yes. Why Roblox RNG is bad is because it relies on rolling a dice as its actual gameplay, and at that point I don't even think you can call that a game, unlike these other games which at least have something to do. But no come, I'm just AFKing, I'm not actually playing the game. Well, if that's the case, good for you, although I don't think AFKing on a game you don't even play is a good idea. Especially for the reward you get. A big reason why people even play these games is to get auras. You might question, what is so special about these auras? Because if people are willing to AFK for literal days for these auras, then there must be something special about them. And you're absolutely right. These auras contain the most important thing anyone could have. Bragging rights, I'm not even joking. A lot of people play these games so they can flex their auras. Like these two people who appear to be doing a flex battle. OMG, no way, I have the Ultra Skibidi Sigma aura, I'm so much better than you. My parents will be so proud of me. Unlike you, I just hope that they don't see the electricity bill this month. I feel like this is the only game where you can say you just got lucky to a better player. And it would literally mean that, because you got lucky, literally. Anyway, let's move on. How did these RNG games even get popular? It's hard to understand why a game even explodes in the first place, because there are so many factors you need to take in consideration when evaluating a game's success. Plus I don't really understand how a game like this could become this popular. But if it's one thing for sure, it's that these auras are very valuable to people that play this game. It's literally reason people play in the first place. The developers and community managed to create a hierarchy in these games, which promotes people who have rare auras, which makes these auras have more value. Therefore more bragging rights, based on fake value. These auras have absolutely no value, other than the value the community gives it. Of course I never really played the game, so I probably won't know what makes auras so special to players, but this is my guess. A big problem that is obvious is gambling. The game itself isn't really a gambling game, as there isn't any risk involved in rolling. Since you don't lose anything when you roll, except for your self-respect. However, while these games aren't really gambling games themselves, I think they will promote the use of gambling, and even get some players addicted to loot boxes in the future. Which is obviously not good. Just think of it as gambling but you can't lose. The game is literally the perfect environment for a gambling addiction to come to life. While most people probably will be aware of this, there will be people that aren't, and those people will probably be kids. Why? Because kids are stupid, they don't know much about the world, which makes them most vulnerable to fall to these types of addictions. Of course, having kids grow up to be gambling addicts isn't really a good thing. I know loot boxes have been around forever, but this is the first time most kids will be exposed to loot boxes where they cannot lose, and when you cannot lose, it literally creates a cheat code in your brain, which pretty much tricks the dopamine receptor in your brain, which causes you to continue rolling. I feel like I could make an entire separate video on this, but for now I just want to talk about RNG games in general. Anyway, that concludes today's video. Of course, I might not have the best understanding of these games, but hopefully I made some sense. Anyway, subscribe if you like this video, as I will probably make more of these videos in the future. Goodbye.